I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Ghosty and Salty.
What a world we're in, ladies and
I
gents.
know. Where Vin and Sori are getting smarter by each escape room.
Yes, sir.
We did two that we escaped like the last second.
Yeah, I don't really count the second one because we had to use a clue. We go in without clues. If you are at expert level is one clue.
Yeah.
Intermediate is like 2 or 3, and then beginner is like 4 or whatever.
Yeah, well, I guess the reason why I counted it is because I was literally going to do that thing when we asked.
Were you really?
That's what he said. That's what I was wondering if you were doing because I was checking over our steps.
That's so funny. There's a guy. We were doing a selection thingamajiggy, and he quit. So he gets out and he starts running up the. And then the instructor goes, "See, this guy's moving his ass. Everybody follow suit." To this day, I don't know if they just let the guy go. They saw he was gonna quit, and then they switched the narrative or whatever because he definitely, the guy was, he was square. He was a good dude as far as doing work or whatever. But it was just hilarious. I looked at it, I'm like, hey man.
I feel like I'm confused.
We were doing something for a course to get selected for something or whatever, and then
somebody was doing really bad and they wanted to quit. Yeah.
He got out of the water and ran up to the, he was gonna go and quit.
Yeah.
And but the instructor took it as he was hustling up the. Yeah, so he's like, "This is what you guys need to be doing," and I'm like. So
they kept him?
Yeah, he was in. He made it all the way through, and then he went out and did very good work. I mean, from my perspective, anyway. But anyway, that was like, you were just about to quit. Anyway, this has nothing to do with anything. We've got a $75 partner tier where you can get a local band reviewed, and most people use that as a hack to get, whatever. So, there you are. So, this is MindMaze, End of Eternity, and for the big homie. Now, we don't have your name on here, buddy, so I don't know who you are, but I'm sure you'll let us know in the comment section,
yes.
Listener. All right, let's get to it.
We know that you're a friend on Facebook of Jeff DT. That we know.
All right, so.
All right.
MindMaze, let's do it.
MindMaze. That sounds so interesting.
I don't want this unplugged.
Okay.
Go!
See
Wow.
That is a polished band, ladies and
He
gents.
said that was local?
He put local in
band.
parentheses. I mean, I don't know if they are or not, but they're
It's from the
polished.
Allentown, Pennsylvania area. Area. Wow.
Ben Webb's gonna get you for that one.
Holy moly. It said he sent a friend request to after I posted about seeing them in concert in 2015, where only 10 people showed up. I can't believe only 10 people would show up for these people. That's crazy.
That must have been bad advertising.
It's gotta be.
These guys are on point.
Well, he says they put on a great show, very good live. I saw them again last year. Much better crowd support. Wow.
It better be. They toured with.
They toured opening for Saxon, contemporary of Iron Maiden, and toured as openers for
Arcona. There's a guy in our community called Arcona fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I really like this. I thought that everything sounded really good. Like, they had the sound come together. You could hear the vocals.
Well,
I loved the drum work.
That young lady can sing.
She was, yeah.
Good night.
Yeah.
She's not playing with y'all.
Nope.
That must be really, really, you gotta have a certain type of mental toughness to be in a band, man. It's not all glittery and whatever. It's not as simple as like, and it doesn't mean just because you have talent, which these guys obviously do, that you're gonna get the respect that you deserve as an artist.
Yep.
People are gonna, they're gonna have
So true.
And then the bands that make it, like sometimes it's really hard to figure out the rhyme and reason for which band pops and which band doesn't.
Yep. Yep.
But good night.
Sometimes I wonder if it's just right place, right time, right connections,
Yeah.
And then sometimes I think that people are just like, they've got the charisma, they've got the talent, they've got everything. So you're like, okay, they're going to make it. But then there's other people where you're like, there's some artists that I've been watching them on stage, and I'm like, really? And like you've said, like sometimes if you just watch their finger work on the neck of the guitar or the bass or something, you're like, wait.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there could be somebody that's unbelievable. We've seen some really unbelievable bands that haven't been like really out there and promoted, It's crazy.
Well, I think this band definitely deserves to be promoted for sure. For sure.
Yep. I enjoyed it. Now, this song, I think... Oh, okay. I thought I saw that it was like an 8 or 9 minute song. I'm like, it did not feel 8 or 9 minutes. I was going to say it was about 4 minutes and 41 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Vin's supper. I got to take it out of the oven. I shall return.
Oh, boy.
I'm back. It's not ready. I'll be leaving it again in 10 minutes.
So
anyway.
What did you think?
I loved it. I really loved it. It had some good... some good vibes to it and stuff. Although, what's it about? What was it about? Let's go into those lyrics.
Well, it seemed to be another one where you're dealing with existential questions.
Was it there? No? Oh.
This part right here, what if there's nothing to be waiting for? What if this moment's just an unlocked door? But at the beginning, it talks about hours that need replacing, so much more that could be if time could only borrow more minutes. So I think it's about like the fact that once something is done, it's done. There's a couple factors in my head. One is the whole idea of going back in time and reversing a wrong that you could have done. But there's also the fact that, time is, again, one of these omnipotent forces that you cannot stop or control or modify.
I hate thinking about that.
Yeah, and she even talks about augmenting, if life could only augment. Like, if we could adjust that.
It's interesting because when you want something, time pushes forward and it feels like it's going so slow to get you to where you want to be.
Right.
But then, like, when I think, okay, so the days and times and everything is numbered, and we literally have X amount of minutes or days together, us, and I think every day that goes by, it pushes that much. I hate stuff like that.
Why would you go and say something like that?
Because that's what comes to mind with stuff like this.
Why would you put that in somebody's head?
The feeling of time. What?
Way to ruin a night.
Jeez, well, babe. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
But if I'm like looking forward to something, like, you know, once I got to the point where I was like, I think I would marry this guy. Then it was like, time couldn't move fast enough to be able to get to the day that you would ask me to marry you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's just funny how time works. Like, sometimes you want it to speed up, and then you want it to slow down.
Well, I mean, we definitely feel it because our day is like jam-packed from the moment we wake up till the moment we sleep. Now, I wouldn't have it any other way, but if I could get an extra 3 hours in a day, that would be boss. You know, because then there's a whole lot more things that we could do.
Yeah.
I've got so many ideas about things, but a lot of it has to do with not having enough time to do it. So yeah, I mean, it's a crazy fact of life that, you know, you wish there were more hours in a day. My brother, my older brother, was the first person to use that phrase, and my older brother was extremely mature, and he was working for our family, trying to keep us with a roof over our head, you know, that type of thing.
What phrase? Not enough hours in the day?
Yeah, because he was in this acting troupe, and then he was with his church, and then he was also working, and all of those consumed a bunch of his time. And so he was talking about, you know, it was difficult for him.
Yeah.
To, you know, balance all that, you know. And so, like, the stuff that we do in our day, like, I love it. You know, obviously getting to homeschool the kids, amazing. Even running an errand with you, going to BJ's and getting the water, like that, I love that. It's so fun. But, you know.
Yeah, we ran it out of there like Navy SEALs.
Yeah, that was like a record, and we got pretty much everything we said we were going to get.
Yep.
Which is the difference, because when you show up to the store,
I always get more, because I'm like, oh no, we don't have this, we need that.
We were going to get milk for the baby. At the Walmart trip, $144 later. So,
to be fair, you decided that you wanted homemade macaroni and cheese, so we had to get all that. You also decided that you wanted snacks, so we got that.
Right.
I mean, it's not all me.
That's mostly you. Yeah, so it's a weird concept, this concept of time and the omnipotence of time. You know, Mr. Man, like my stepfather, he'd be like, Vincent? Because I'd always be late to my baseball games or taekwondo or something. He'd be like, Vincent, get up! Time waits for no man! That's all he'd say. Like, what? I never understood the phrase, and now, when I'm older, you know, you get it now. Like, yeah, time waits for no man. That's for sure. So, and then there's a question: what if there's nothing to be waiting for? Now, initially I was like, oh, this is an afterlife question. Nothing to be waiting for after you die. But I don't think so. Actually, I think it's a very this world-oriented question. Because what happens is people are like, oh, eventually I'm going to do this. Eventually I'm going to do that. And
well, the next line kind of clears that up.
And it's like, what if you're supposed to do it now? What if you're not supposed to procrastinate and wait?
Oh.
Wait
That's
for...
not what I got.
Where if you're not supposed to procrastinate and wait for the thing to come to you versus you going and get it because this moment is an unlocked door. You have the opportunity right in front of you. Go for it now. Don't sit there and go, oh, well, maybe, you know, maybe later I'll be able to do this or da-da-da-da. You ever meet those people? They're always talking about what they're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
They never talk about what they're doing.
So wait, what have you done?
What have you actually done in this moment? And it's not just about having an alpha dog personality where you're like, I'm gonna go get everything, I'm gonna seize the day. It's also just open your eyes and see that you've got the opportunity now. You know? See,
for me, that meant, like, you know how you look to a certain event? For instance, I was looking forward to when we would get married. And so that was like the moment, that was like the event. But then now that that event has come and gone, I realized that it was just an unlocked door for me to go through into another. You know what I mean? Each moment is another unlocked door. So you put all this stock into one moment, but it actually is just a door that you go through that leads you to more moments.
Yeah. But that stanza and this right here are connected, right? What if there's nothing to be waiting for? What if this moment's just an unlocked door to the other side, another life?
Path to another life.
Right. So, yeah, I think both of them are there. I just think that this is this question is dealing with the procrastination of people who have very, very big ideas, but are either afraid or because I don't know. I'm not particularly sure. No, I'm gonna say that. It's not about the song. It's about another thing I'm gonna say. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay.
But it is interesting, though. I think people are very, very afraid to. I think there's some dreams that people have that people are actually afraid of them coming true. And so there's a lot of, I don't want to say excuses, but reasons behind why a person would procrastinate on an issue. And so I think that, you know, this song is like an encouragement not to do so. Temporary placement on a platform, we must tour. Momentary distance till we reach a distant shore. If in twist and turn we vanish, we appear reborn. No fear or doubt could banish what destiny has sworn. This is interesting. It's almost like this is what they're saying about themselves. I'm thinking about the show with only 10 people showed up. You know, and Dorian is getting into acting and stuff, and I know that there's a world of rejection out there for him for acting. So I know that rejection is coming, but it seems like temporary placement on a platform, we must tour. Momentary distance till we reach our distant shore. So it's not there yet. They're on this platform and they're touring. I mean, it could be touring through life. If you did it literally, it's them being on tour. But then, if in twist and turn we vanish, we appear reborn. No fear or doubt could banish what destiny is sworn. So I think it's about, if you get twisted up or whatever and you vanish, like they go away, the band goes away, people aren't feeling you, there's 10 people at your show, it doesn't matter because they're going to appear reborn because there's nothing that's going to stop them. No type of discouragement is going to stop you. Like we're
because
going,
it's their destiny that they do whatever.
No fear or doubt could banish what destiny has sworn. Right. So she's saying this is our destiny to do this and da-da-da, or whoever wrote it. But I think that that's a very... I'm just stuck. It's stuck in my head that 10 people showed up.
I know.
And the reason it's stuck in my head is because they still played the fucking show.
Yep. They played their hearts out.
That, to me, is respect. It's like
that is.
Colin always says, like, the Manning brothers, like in football, their dad's last name is Manning. It's like having your last name is Jordan. Like, they came from all this privilege. They never had to struggle. Peyton was a first round, whatever, and blah, right? And then Eli, same thing. They never had to struggle. They pretty much had it handed to them. Whereas with Brady, he got picked so low. He got picked in the bottom of the 6th or the 7th round, and he didn't come from a famous family, and da-da-da-da. And so he's got that kind of chip on his shoulder to this day, where he's still running out the tunnel and yelling and yada, 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 because he dealt with that pain and the rejection at the beginning.
Yep.
And I think sometimes, like, if you're a band and stuff just pops off for you, you know, out of nowhere, like, you run the risk of not appreciating in full what you actually have. And so I'm like, wow, like, this is a song where, like, let's go. You know, like, we're going to go and we're going to be who we're supposed to be, and that's it. The end of insanity, the end of doubt and vanity. I know it's time to see we've reached the end. So I think this is an overall extremely positive message. Like, it's extremely positive. It's like, man, we're not going to wait for it. Time is short.
Yep.
Yeah, we could have done a lot of things different, but use that as a stepping stone for the next big thing. It's like I tell you all the time. Like, if we messed up on something or if you had a miss on something, it's part of the preparation for you to knock it out of the park for the real test coming up.
Of course, yeah.
So I think this is a very, very good song. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The musicianship was crazy, especially the second half, the interplay between. You know what's interesting is I was never. I'm not the lead guitarist guy. I'm not. I come up with riffs. I come up with heavy shit. My shit is heavy. I'm not gonna lie. It's heavy. But so what happens is whenever I hear solo, I initially start with the rhythm guitarist because most people don't even know what the rhythm guitarist is doing during the solo because the solo is featured. So a lot of times they'll just use the exact same chord progression, maybe cut it in half a little bit and repeat it so that just as a little, you know, backdrop for the real show, which is the actual solo. But the rhythm parts during the solo of this one was excellent. The solo was also excellent. I loved it. They have great, back and forth between rhythm and
Oh yeah,
lead.
yeah, it was very good.
Which is rare. I mean, if you go back and listen to a lot of 80s songs, with the exception of Metallica, and listen to the rhythm part of the solo, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Awesome song. Love the positive message. What
I'm giving it a 9.6.
Yeah, this is a 9.5 for me for sure.
Yeah.
And shit, man, if I was around, I'd have went to that show.
I know. We would have given you some media.
For sure. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.